Now, and I think I'm gonna try to make this next breakfast because I think I'm on vacation. So just get the pancakes ready. You understand me? So let's try to do this thing. All right, and we also have women in conversation. We haven't been with you guys in a while.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but you just gave me a good idea.
All right, so we got women in conversation, and today we're talking about the book. What's the name of the book?
The Help.
The Help. Okay, and I pass the mic. Take the mic there and everything, so you guys can pass it among each other. Now, what is The Help all about? The book called The Help. Who wrote the book?
The book was written by...
Introduce yourself, too.
Oh, hi. This is Lorraine Scales. I live in Bridgewater, New Jersey. I'm a member of Women in Conversation, founded by Barbara Gadabaku and Willa Cofield. The book was written by Catherine Stockett. It's called The Help. It's a novel. It is the #1 New York Times bestseller.
Wow.
Briefly, it's about 3 main characters. Their names are Aibeline, a black maid, Minnie, Aibeline's best friend, and Skeeter. That's her nickname. She's a white woman, 22 years old. Takes place in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, Jackson. Yes, I know Jackson.
And I found it very interesting.
Sure.
It held my attention. What was amazing was that the writer, the author, Catherine Stockett, is white. And the fact that she was able to capture the lingo, the expression of these African American women back during the 60s. Takes place in the 60s. That's very important to know. Yeah.
Well, just a note for the audience also. A good 99.9% of all that movement and the wordage that was used back in those days are in truth recorded in the Congressional Library.
Okay.
Yeah, we recorded.
Very good.
You understand what I mean? Yes. So you can look it up. It's all there. The wordage and everything. And it's a good thing that she was able to go back and get that. So tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. Well, I don't want to give too much of it away.
Okay.
Truly, you have to read the book. A change did come.
A change did come.
Yes, it was time when President Kennedy was assassinated.
Okay.
And the hippie movement started.
Sure.
The flower children.
Sure.
And Skeeter was a rebel in a sense. She didn't conform to the other Southern belles.
Sure.
And Aibeline was a strong-willed woman, as was Minnie.
Now, Aibeline was black.
Aibeline was black. She's one of the maids.
Okay.
One of the main characters.
And what about Skeeter? What's Skeeter?
Skeeter was white.
Now, was she a maid or was she?
No, she was the
mistress or whatever.
No.
Mrs.
Mrs. She was the Miss. She was her mom was the Miss Anne.
Okay.
Of the story.
So she was
but she felt that there was a change brewing in the country.
Sure.
And she wanted to know how the maids were treated by their Miss Anne.
Sure.
And so she took it upon herself to approach them, to interview them. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
You got to read the story.
Right,
I'll pass this on.
They have a mic right there. Okay.
One thing that impressed me is reading the authors.
Yeah, close to the mic.
Oh, one thing that Linda Barnes from Plainfield, a member of Women in Conversation.
Okay.
And one of the things that impressed me about the author is that she said that she wrote this book because of a close relationship that she had with a maid that had brought her home from the hospital.
Sure.
Spent more time with her than her own mother did.
Sure.
And since she had such a close relationship with this woman and had never really asked her how it felt to be black, she just felt like she wanted to write this book partly so she could express the feelings that these black maids had toward each other and toward the Miss Annes in their lives.
Wow.
And that impressed me because she was writing about some things that she had experienced firsthand.
Okay. And what were their experiences, the black maids that they had with Miss Anne? because you know we're talking to an audience today that might not even know who Miss Ann is.
Now,
My name is Loretta Thomas, and I'm with Women in Conversations. I'm from North Plainfield, New Jersey. One of the things that really stuck out in my mind during the reading of this book was that they wanted separate bathrooms for the maids because the maids had diseases and germs and everything, not realizing that who took care of their children, who prepared their meals, who really took care of their homes, and they did not want them to use the same facilities, and that was very, you know.
But at that
reading.
time, at that point of challenge in the '60s, after John Kennedy was assassinated, we was just abolished the segregated laws. So we, you know, it was colored bathrooms and white bathrooms and things of that nature. You know, so I could see for them holding on to what you would call their prestige. You understand me by saying, no, you don't use my bathroom. You know, you're under me. You know, you're the maid.
Right.
You know? Today we wish we could have good health. You understand me? So, you know.
Yes. And the antagonist from all of this with the bathroom issue was another character by the name of Miss Hilly, who was really the antagonist that to me kept something going with the Miss Anns, the misses of the community.
Yes.
And she was the one who really would instigate and tell people what to do, and others during that era did not seem to think for themselves because many of the characters just believed what she said.
So she was the head Miss Ann, like the Queen Bee.
Right.
So when all Miss Anns met together, you understand me? She would say, you do like this and you do like that, do the other thing.
Right.
Yeah, well, I can see that happen. That even happens today in different settings, you know, different
Very
things.
true.
That happened today.
Yeah, she was, in fact, Miss Hilly was the leader of their Daughters of the American Revolution Club.
Okay.
That was in Jackson. And of course, this was a very prestigious club.
Sure.
And everybody thought that nobody wanted to go against Miss Hilly.
Right. She was the head.
Even though some of them knew that some of the things that she was proposing were not good,
right, yeah.
not right. But she was the queen bee, so to speak. My impressions of The Help, a wonderful book, and then all throughout the time I was reading it, I really could not get that here was a white woman who had so understood the position of the black maid that she was able to put in words their thoughts and their feelings.
Sure.
And she was the one that that encouraged Aibileen to then round up the other maids, because everybody was afraid to tell their story about how they were being treated by their employers. But somehow Skeeter was able to influence Aibileen to say there's a story that had to be told.
And let me ask you this right here. You know, when you go down to Mississippi, they have these big cookie jars, you know, with these sisters on it, you know, that's Mississippi, Alabama, Angela, so whatever you call them. And that's part of the culture. That's part of it. That's been there for years. And the Miss Anns, because of the pressure on those women, was that something that steered them into becoming so more comfortable in eating and becoming obese and things of that nature? Because there were a good many maids back in the day that were big like those cookie jars. You know, the cookie jar, what they show. You know, the big that big frame. And what I was taught years ago, that it was because that, you know, with all that was going on, that they found a great deal of comfort in eating and food and things of that nature. And then the idea of that, when they worked at that place, they basically raised the kids of Miss Ann and helped them out and things of that nature. Got paid and everything, but they weren't able to really contribute to their own family. Or then, because they were being psychologically beat down so much, that, you know, you have to also study the victim too. You know what I mean? And what the victim is going through. You know, that maybe she could see working for Miss Ann's son becoming a doctor, but she couldn't even see her own son becoming a doctor. And this is real. So these are the things that we have to talk about. You know what I mean? The real deal, you know. and things. And I think that